Hey everyone! We have a lot of stuff to cover today. First, we have to learn the plain form, and then we're going to learn how to use the plain form to say, I think that. First, we're going to learn about the plain form. We're not going to be learning about what the plain form is exactly, or how to use it, or when to use it, or anything like that. That's for another lesson. Today, we're just going to be learning about how to use it with the verb 생각하다 to say, to think. So, the present tense. To make the present tense plain form, it depends on whether you're using an action verb or a descriptive verb. For an action verb, you take the verb stem and you attach 는 if it ends in a consonant, or you just attach a nian if it ends in a vowel, followed by 다. 하다, to do. We get the stem 하, it ends in a vowel. 한다, 먹다, to eat. The stem is 먹, ends in a consonant. 먹는다, we're done. Now, there's an exception. If the verb stem ends with this letter, you remove it. The verb 살다, to live, you remove this and you get the stem. Then you attach nian, 다, 산다. To make a descriptive verb, though, it's completely different. First, you got to take the descriptive verb stem, and then you put the 다 back on, and you're done. For example, 춥다, to be cold. 춥다, you're done. 멀다, to be far. 멀다, that's it. When we're making the form 생각하다 to mean to think, there's one more thing we're going to be adding. Whenever you're using verbs before 고, there are two verbs that will actually change their form. 이다 and 아니다. Now, the plain form of 이다 and 아니다, since these are both descriptive verbs, is just 이다 and 아니다. But when it's used with 고, the 다 changes into 라. So you get 이라고, or just 라고 after a vowel, or 아니라고. So just keep that in mind. When you're using 이다 and 아니다 with this form, you have to change them because you're using it with 고. To get the past tense plain form, all you do is you take a past tense conjugated verb. Let's take the verb 하다. How do you normally conjugate it to the past tense? Maybe as 했어요, for example. When you reach these two letters, everything else goes away. Then you attach 다, and you're done. 했다. That's it. Every other verb is going to work the same way. How do you make a past tense version of 가다, to go? 갔어요, 갔다. 먹다, 먹었어요, 먹었다. That's it. For the future tense, you have two options. You can either take a verb stem and attach 겠다, like 하겠어요, 하겠습니다, like that. Well, now you have 하겠다. Or you can use the other future tense form, 것이다. So 할 거야, 갈 거야, 할 거예요. 하다 would become 할 것이다. Basically, you take a verb stem and you attach if it ends with a consonant, or you attach a lir if it ends with a vowel. But if you're already familiar with this form, you'll know 것이다 often is shortened to 거, like 거야, 거예요. 것 can become 거, and 이다 can just become 다. So you can have 할 것이다, or more commonly, 할 거다. But as I explained, there are two verbs that are exceptions when you're using with 고. This verb here is still 이다, so it has to change to 라. Remember that 이다 becomes 이라 when it's used with 고. So 거라고. Instead of 할 거다, which is the future tense plain form of 하다, instead of that though, when we're using it with the 고 ending, we get 할 거라고. Okay, that is all you need to know about how to conjugate the plain form. So now we're going to learn how to say I think. To say I think, or someone thinks, literally to think or to consider, 생각하다. To say that in a form, you take the plain form and you attach 고. Then 생각하다. Literally, 생각 means a thought. So to think. Last week, we learned another way to say to think, which was 것 같다. 생각하다 is a regular action verb. 것 같다, I had taught, means to be the same or to be similar or to seem. In that way, by saying something seems to be a certain way, you're saying I think it is. 생각하다, though, is just a regular action verb, literally to think. So you can use 생각하다 with commands. You can tell someone, think this, you should think this, or don't think this. But you can't do that with 것 같다 because you can't say, do not seem, do not seem this way. You can also use 생각하다 in any tense. You're not going to say, it will seem like it is difficult. No, you would say, it seems like it will be difficult. This can be used with past tense. So I thought, future tense, I will think, or I am thinking, progressive tense. You wouldn't say, I am seeming about it right now with 것 같다. You wouldn't use 갖고 있어요. That doesn't make any sense. So you can say, 생각하고 있어요. I'm thinking. You can say, I'll think about it. 생각할게요. Future tense. You cannot say 것 같을 거예요, 같을게요, or anything like that. Doesn't make any sense. That's saying I will seem it for you. I will similar it for you. It doesn't make sense. 생각할게요 is totally normal. I'll think about it. When you can use either 것 같다 or 생각하다 to say to think. 것 같다 sounds much more conversational. So a little bit less fancy, a little bit less written, a little bit less formal. Because 것 같다 is more like saying, oh, I think, or I guess, or it seems that. It's a little bit softer. 것 같다 is therefore more often used for expressing what you sense or something that you feel. Something that's external to you, any external factor. Anytime you want to express something that you sense or something that you feel, like, oh, it seems this way, use 것 같다. It'll sound much more natural. It's more commonly used for anything like that. 생각하다, however, feels more like you're saying your actual thoughts. So this will be something like your opinion from something internal, your internal factors, something that comes out of you is your thought. You can think of using the 생각하다 form as saying at the beginning of your sentence, what I think is, and then your sentence. If your sentence sounds good by starting it by saying, what I think is, use 생각하다. It will sound more natural in Korean. 한국어가 재밌다고 생각해요. So Korean, 한국어, 재밌다, fun, 고 생각해요. So I think 한국어가 재밌다고 생각해요. So I think Korean is 재밌다, fun. 좋다고 생각하지 않아요. So I do not think 좋다, it's good. 좋다고 생각하지 않아요. I do not think it's good. I don't think it's good. 좋다고 생각하지 않아요. 철수가 한국 사람이라고 생각해요. 한국 사람, Korean person. 이라고, this comes from 이다. Remember, 다 is normally the plain form, but when you're using it with 고, you get 이라. So 이라고. 생각해요. So I think 철수 is Korean. 철수가 한국 사람이라고 생각해요. 철수가, so our friend 철수, 한국, Korea에서 산다. So lives in Korea, 생각해요. I think 철수 lives in Korea. 철수가 한국에서 산다고 생각해요. You could have also said 한국에 산다. When you're using 살다, you can either use 에 or 에서. It has the same meaning. So I think 철수 lives in Korea. 영화가, the movie, 짧다 is to be short. So 짧다고 생각했어요. So I thought the movie is short. This is what I felt like when I saw Lord of the Rings in the movie theater. Really. If you saw it in theaters, you'll know what I'm talking about. Everyone was like, oh, where's the next one? What happens? 영화가 짧다고 생각했어요. So I thought, past tense, the movie is short. 이미 했다고 생각해요. So I think 했다. I already did it. 이미 했어요. 이미 했다고 생각해요. So I think that I already did it. 괜찮을 거라고 생각해요. So 괜찮다, to be okay. Future tense, 괜찮을 것. So it will be okay. 라고, because it's 것이다. So 거라고 생각해요. So I think it will be okay. Future tense, will be. 괜찮을 거라고 생각해요. I think it will be okay. And that is the lesson for today. And I will see you all next time. 그럼 다음에 또 봐.